Hello, Wildcat families. On Monday, June 15th, we put out a press release regarding three different learning options for the 2020-2021 school year. I know there's some confusion and a lot of question in these unprecedented times. We all have questions. The three learning options are not a vote. We are going to offer those three learning options to our students. However, we are ready for option one. That is our ultimate goal, to have our kids return to school, have face-to-face interaction with their peers and a certified teacher. We know that that's more effective for education and learning. So that is our goal. However, we have layers of safeguards in place to allow for option one. And some of those safeguards are upping our game in sanitation. We will encourage hand washing even more so than ever. We will encourage students coughing in their elbows. We will encourage students not touching doors with their hands. We will separate supplies, not share supplies. We will wipe down surfaces more frequently. So there will be a lot of additional sanitation protections in place. Sanitation protections won't do it by itself because we know that there will be some times where students may share supplies accidentally, so we have other protections in place. There's been a lot of discussion about personal protective equipment, specifically masks. I am going to refer to them as face coverings. We will not mandate that students wear a mask or a face covering all day long. I cannot wear a face covering all day long. It's not practical for what I do. It's not practical for learning. However, there may be certain situations where a mask is required. For example, if students are working in a lab setting and working closely together or singing in a quartet, a face covering may be required. It may be a bandana or a scarf. Wouldn't necessarily have to be a mask. So we know that that is not practical for students to wear a mask all day long. We will also limit our large gatherings. Rather than putting all of our students in the gym for an assembly, we may have an outdoor assembly if weather allows. We may stagger our bell schedules so that all of our students aren't changing classes at the same time and are exposed to other students. We may expand our lunch schedules so that we have fewer students in the cafeteria at one time. We may do grab and go breakfast in the classroom next year to limit that exposure. If a student or a staff member has a confirmed diagnosis of COVID-19, the health department will take over and run a contact tracing investigation. So the fewer kids that are affected, the fewer kids that may be required to quarantine. I do not expect us to close for a quarter. I expect that there may be intermittent quarantining, and that may be just from a family or a grade level or a pod or a group, or there may not be any closure of school, but we're ready if there is intermittent closure at one specific site. I don't look for it to be district-wide at this point, but as you know, things change. We're ready. It will not be packets if we close, if we have some intermittent closure. We are prepared for online instruction. It counts as an instructional day. We have ordered enough devices that all of our students will be able to have a computer at home. We have ordered hotspots for our families who do not have access to internet. There will be a teacher teaching your family if there is an intermittent closure. And if I'm saying intermittent, I'm saying a 2-week closure for a specific site, grade level, family. We don't expect it to be like last year. It will still count as an instructional grade. There will still be grading. So our instruction will look different. We're ready for option 1. Now, if you have a student who is in a self-contained classroom, obviously those are smaller groups and they're pretty large classrooms. We can implement those layers of protection easier in a self-contained classroom. So if you have a student that is in a self-contained classroom, please call Amy Schwartz, our Special Services Director, at 767-8000, and she will be able to talk to you about your specific child's needs. We are here to help you. Now, at the same time, we want our kids to come back to school, but we recognize that we have some students who may be vulnerable or susceptible to COVID-19, and we want to have some options available for those students. So option 2 would be an online comprehensive curriculum. The work would be done online. They're aligned to our state standards. The curriculum would be aligned to our state standards. We would have a certified teacher who would meet with your child at a remote school site that has an outside door once a week, do some tutoring, help as needed. The student can take tests with that teacher. So there would be support from the teacher, but it would not be packets. In option 2, students could then participate in any activities we may have in grades 6 through 12. However, there would be some requirements for the parent. For example, if you have a 6th grade student who wants to participate in chorale, the parent would be responsible for getting the student to the class at the time that the class starts. And we realize that many of our parents have a work schedule and can't adhere to that. So that might not be the option for you. The most restrictive environment would be all online learning. And we really expect that there would be very few in this group. This would be for our most vulnerable students who may have a weakened immune system. This would be strictly online, comprehensive curriculum developed for that grade level. They would be supported by a certified teacher. So with that said, I do want you to know that all options are going to be offered. Option 1 is our goal, and we're ready to put these safeguards in place to protect your kids in option 1. But we do recognize the need for option 2 and option 3. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, 767-8000. We will continue to put out information through press releases on our website, www.pcps.us, through the PCPS app, our Facebook page, and many of our sites have their own Facebook page that they developed while we were in closure in the spring. So stay connected. We will keep providing information to you as we have it. And as you may understand, we have to consider every scenario, and we're making plans to protect our kids. We're ready to see our kids in the classroom. We are ready for option 1. But know that there are some other options available for our students who are vulnerable. Please call us with questions. That's why we're here, to help you. Thank you, and have a great day.